8.3 Population Ecology. The essential question is, what are some factors and how do they influence the growth of a population? First, we have to clear out what population is. I draw a couple of B's in here, and it means the population, a group of organisms that they interact not only with each other, but also with their environment over a certain area. So these four are making the population. The population, the size of the population depends on how many organisms will born into that population over a period of time. Also, how many organisms immigrate into that population, like we're talking about, for example, the birds, and how many organisms will leave the population because of death or because of emigration. So that four factors define the size of the population. The birth depends on the reproduction frequency of the individual organisms, also the length of their gestation period, the number of offsprings the organisms produce over a certain period of time, and age of the reproduction maturity counts a lot for the population, as well as the survivalship of the offsprings or the young in that population. To figure out the change over time for the population, dn over dt, means the birth plus the immigration minus the death plus emigration. Let's focus on first on the scenario, in the scenario that the population does not have any limitations, so the growth is unlimited for that population. Now, the growth rate does not have any limitations. Plenty of food, plenty of shelter, plenty of resources, everything is plenty. Now, the graph would look like, if we want to just plot the population, the y-axis will be the number of organisms and the x-axis the time. It will show a y-shaped curve that is an exponential growth rate or the exponential function. It is important to point out there's no limitation at this point. So the population change, dn over dt, over a certain period of time equals to the Rmax times n, the population. The Rmax means the maximum growth per capita in the population. So for example, if I use for Rmax 0.17, it means that how much the population grows over a period of time. So 0.17 from every individual is the contribution over a period of time for the growth. If the population is small, the growth of the population is small. See that how over a certain time period, the growth on the y-axis is very limited. But however, if the population is big already, and we are talking about exponential growth rate, like same distance for time, but the growth on the y-axis is way bigger gain compared to the previous one. So when we start with a big population, the growth is faster for that population. And that's the end. I hope we answered the question, what are some factors and how do they influence the growth of a population?